I've always been a drawer of the ball, and I've noticed that I swing very much in the out.
Right.
So I've usually had an issue being too shallow, not too steep, and controlling that draw has been an issue.
Your arms are 6'2". So the measurements kind of help you build the blueprint how you design the move.
Okay.
If we start with your setup,
Yeah.
from the target view looks pretty good. From the face view, you're a little bit wide and on your trail side. The other thing I noticed, and even outside, is you barely put your right hand on the club.
Interesting.
It's hard to control the club.
Right.
So things are going to break down.
Yeah.
So I need to get your right hand on the club. And then that test that we did where I had you just let your arms bend shows me that your right hand position should be what we call a side cover position. The way your right arm bends, you went back, your right arm would go behind the center of your body. That's going to put your hand in more of a kind of a coverish position. It wasn't all the way, so we're going to call it side cover.
Okay.
In traditional terms, someone say your grip is weak. For you, that's actually neutral. This would be really strong for you. This would be a little bit strong. That would be weak with your right hand. So if you look at your grip here on the video, I'm looking at this little crease here.
Yeah.
That should point a little bit more centered.
Interesting.
Now, first of all, you got to get your hand on the club.
Yeah.
But secondly, you got to squeeze it, right? Because where your hand is there, it's going to tend to lead to a little extra closed face, which is kind of what we've been discussing. A little bit extra left. Or you hold on to it with your left hand so you don't hit it left.
Right.
So it gets a little bit of an issue. We did one test where I put the club across your thighs, and I'm just looking to see how your pelvis moves. We're all predisposed to move a certain way.
Yeah.
Some of us will in our backswing, will rotate around our right hip. Some will rotate around our left hip, and some rotate around the center of your pelvis. So you have rear, center, and front post. So in your backswing, you're kind of a center to a rear post, so you'll turn somewhere between your right hip and the center of your pelvis. It'll be your axis point turning back. So you can see you almost go left. See that? How there's a little bit of space here between your left hip and the line?
Yeah.
So here's the center of your pelvis. You're going to rotate around this spot. So your right hip will turn away from that line a little bit, or your right glute, but your hip will stay pretty close to it, or should stay pretty close to it. You can see how you move away from it.
Yeah.
So that'd be more of a front post. Okay, so I got to get you to load into your right side a little bit more.
Right.
One of the things that we can do to help you turn and not twist is we're going to flare your right foot out a little bit. And then at the top of your swing, we talked about with your long arms, your left arm should be a little steeper than your shoulders, which it is. It's a really good position there.
Okay.
You can actually see your right hand fingers. Look at your right hand. Like I can, right? You see that?
That is
Like it's not even on the club.
crazy. I did not know that.
So we got to get you to swing it. So just doing some right hand only swings would be a great exercise for you, just to feel your right hand stay on the club.
Yeah.
Look, we're all taught not to hold on to the club too tightly, which makes some sense to some degree. But if you're going to swing a weighted object with some speed, you got to have grip pressure.
Yeah.
You don't want a lot of arm pressure, because your arms have to be able to zip through.
Right.
But your hands better be closed on that club, and then let your arms go. One of the challenges I find for people is separating grip pressure from arm pressure. I tell them to tighten up, and everything kind of gets tight. Well, I don't want that either.
Right.
So we got to learn and practice how to squeeze the club with your hands, but keep your arms from getting
Right.
too stiff. Everything after this point is just kind of a compensation for the incorrect hips and your right hand. Watch your right hand now. Now it's starting to, now I got to swing the club, so I'm going to clamp down on it.
Wow.
See that? As we saw, you were complaining about too much draw. Well, it's not a path. Your path is 2.5 into out. It's a perfect draw path.
Okay.
The inconsistency is in the club face control because your hands aren't on the frickin' thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of dive into it with your upper body right here.
Yeah.
And then you try to save it. Look, being a good athlete, you played college tennis, so being a good athlete, you've got good eye-hand coordination, you figured it out.
Yeah.
It's just hard to be consistent.
Right.
Your downswing's reacting to the backswing.
Yeah.
So, and your backswing is somewhat reacting to your setup.
Right.
Everything starts with the setup. Your grip's incorrect, not enough grip pressure, and you're a little bit on your right side. So you reverse, you don't hold on, and then you're out of position. So let's get you set up better. get you to hold the club, feel where you should be at the top, and then let's see what happens with your downswing.
Right.
We may have to help it along a little bit, but I think after feeling where you should be, your athletic mind's going to start to say, oh, okay, now I can do the things I want to do.
That makes sense.
Okay. So go ahead, put your hands on the club. Just do your normal grip.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you see your fingers? So
Yeah.
close your right hand fingers on the club. There. Okay, now take your left hand off. Squeeze the club. Now swing it with a little bit of speed. So that's the amount of pressure you need to have when you swing.
Oh wow, it feels like I'm really squeezing it.
So you went from a grip pressure of 1 to about a grip pressure of 5 or 6. The other thing you'll notice is if you look at the position of your hand on there, this crease is now pointing straight up.
Versus earlier, it was
Versus
over
it was over there.
Wow.
So that's neutral. 56 left, 47 right. So you went back to balanced
Wow.
instead of where you were. But watch the way your hips move.
You're kidding me. I hold the line on the back?
Look how you turn into your right. Look at that.
You're kidding me. Wow. That's a big change.
Right? I didn't tell you to do that.
No.
You're just being an athlete again. And that's a lot of what, you know, as coaches, that's what we do is we take athletes. I mean, look, you played a sport at a high level. Your body knows what it wants to do. What happens is we read things, we think of things, we think of what we think we should be doing, and then we make our body do something that's incorrect.
Right.
So how good would that backswing position be?
I can't even believe that.
Right? You can even turn it a little bit more to the left. Yeah, there.
Wow.
Add some pressure to the fingers. There. So keep your hands on there. Same pressure of 5 in both hands.
Okay.
So don't let go. You're gonna your
Right.
habit's to let go.
Yeah.
Right? And I want you to feel like you played tennis righty, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I want you to do more with your right hand. Turn your right hand a little bit more to the left. There. That's neutral.
Wow.
Okay. Now feel like you're gonna throw the club down the range. And what would you do? Yeah, there. Way better with your body motion.
Wow.
The position of your right foot affects how much internal or external rotation you get out of your right hip. You need to be able to rotate better going back. So point your right toe, instead of pointing it straight out, we'll call it at noon,
Yeah.
point your right toe to 1 o'clock. Okay? That should give you a little bit more freedom to turn back without twisting and stay on the inside of your right foot, or on top of your right foot. Yeah, that was good. Setup looks better. You're going to put your feet close together. It's just an arm swing drill.
Yeah.
But because we're struggling a little bit with the pressure, we're going to start with the club. It'll be barely touching the ground. Feet close. You're just going to turn back. Let your arms go through. See how my arms bend. Just kind of easy. You know, do a little waggle, get a feel for it, but then let's just do some swings. Just kind of let the arms go a little bit here. There you go. That had a nice arm swing to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. And you can let the club, I know you've been fighting the left, but you can go ahead and let the club release a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that you got both hands on it.
Yeah. When you say release, what do you mean?
Well, it's
Or show me
so
a feel for that.
it's funny. You bring up release, and Gary Player did something and talked about release. We don't release the club because releasing the club is actually letting go. It's in golf terms, it's just letting your right arm go over your left, feeling the club face close. You've been left arm only, little in to out, which is what you want, but fighting the hook, so you've trained yourself to hold on a little.
Yeah.
So now I want you to feel your right arm push over your left.
Got it.
Because when the right arm extends, it helps square the face up.
Yeah.
And it also helps the club accelerate. When the right arm stays bent, when it's not supposed to, it leaves the face open and it acts as a decelerator.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want you to feel your right arm, just like when you did right arm only swing, your right arm went like that. You didn't think about it. That's just how it does. Or when you throw a ball, it goes like this. You don't think about dragging your elbow or whatever, but you didn't have any right arm because your hand wasn't on the club. So I just want you to let your right arm extend over your left just to help square the face up. There we go.
Yeah. It's weird because I was almost trying to take the right hand out of the swing.
Yeah.
Thinking
you did it.
that was the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking that would be
Right, but you did it.
remove variables or I didn't
Why
want
would
to
you want? Why would you want to take it out though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a conscious decision or if it was like if I used my right hand more that the tennis in me would try to do too much with the right hand.
Don't
Yeah.
think it. By the way, the other stuff's already starting to change on its own.
Really?
Yep, your hips are
From the
moving
setup?
better.
Wow.
You're not twisting anymore. You're turning into your right side.
That's crazy.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, Dougie, so we started with your setup. Notice right away your hands were barely on the club, and we talked about your stance width and then your balance. You were leaning a little bit on your right side, you were a little too wide, so we narrowed you up, taught you how to squeeze the club with your right hand, just trying to feel some pressure in your right arm and hand. As soon as we changed your setup and you got the feeling of your right hand, your natural athleticism came out, and your hips went from twisting too much in the backswing to actually loading into your right side and then making the correct move coming down. So we did a drill where I had you put your feet together and then just learn how to just get your arms to swing and learning how to swing the club again. That just automatically allowed your body to be athletic and it changed your whole movement pattern without doing much else.